Okay, what's up, guys? So, Hot T has uploaded a video titled James Charles Wasn't Lying About That Ethan Kid. So, yeah, if James Charles is really talking to this kid, I'm like, and was doing the things that this kid say he was doing and stuff, then see, that's the thing. I'm like, oh, let's just get into the video and see what's going to be said and stuff. But first things first, if you guys haven't, go show some love to Hot T, her main channel and her second channel, Ray Rahimi. And yeah, let's go ahead and refresh this page and get into this video. I was about to say the intro done changed. But yeah, she does have a. Oh, and yeah, subscribe to her financial channel. I keep forgetting about that channel. As the time progresses on, I will remember. I need to subscribe to it
Just a quick
myself.
disclaimer that all comments made in this video are just my own opinion on the situation. Please don't send hate to anyone involved in this video. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
What she said.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about James Charles and that 14-year-old little kid who tried to accuse him of being a predator again. Just in case you missed my video on this last week, let's do a little recap. So there's this 14-year-old kid slash TikToker named Ethan Andrew who's come out with a YouTube video claiming that James Charles has made advances towards him knowing he was only 14. He said he DM'd James first just for fun, not thinking much of it. James responds saying, "Why do you keep texting me?" Ethan responds with a picture of himself. James asks his age. Ethan again responds with a picture. Ethan says that he told James his age in the picture, and James just replied saying, "That's very young," and asked for his Snapchat. But then James started pushing boundaries on Snapchat and making him feel really uncomfortable with the things he was sending. James hasn't publicly spoken out about this just yet, but he has been speaking to a couple of tea and drama channels behind the scenes. James had also sent screenshots of messages to Destin Daily.
It was a picture of this kid in the mirror, and then it was James saying the eye roll emoji, and he said LOL back again, and this guy said, "Nah, I just got something to say." James said, "Question mark, someone sent me that podcast of you and Logan." Kind of felt like shade was thrown. And James replied to him and said, "At you?" And this guy replies and says, "Yeah." James replied to him and said, "I promise that I haven't thought about you since you blocked me on Snapchat for the third time, LOL." This guy says, "Just kind of strange how everything you said on that podcast was kind of everything I told you. Family problems, etc."
I don't know why he was so insistent on making what James said on Logan Paul's podcast about him. Like, he's moved on, he's forgotten about you, and you should move on too.
James replied and said, "No, it was actually about a Romanian boy that I was talking to from LA for a few weeks. As I said, I haven't thought about you." The kid sends another picture and it's just him like, and James went on to say, "You can believe what you want. It wasn't about you, but clearly the shoe fits. Enjoy your night then." This guy then replies to James and says, "Stop lying. We was friends." James said, "Dad emoji, how are you going to come into my DMs accusing me of speaking about you on a podcast where I talked about a guy I was talking to that didn't work out, and then 5 minutes later say we didn't talk?" This guy says, "We didn't talk. You exaggerated. Hella." James replied and said, "You said you were bisexual and were into me and that I was beautiful, LMAO. I'm sorry that you're insecure and embarrassed about your sexuality." This guy replies and says, "Hell no."
Yeah, because that was another thing. I was all like, I think it was Keemstar had showed that clip, but he was like talked about like how he's straight, but he still went out of his way to message. Like, I mean, there ain't no problem with that. There's no problem with you like messaging, that's somebody that's into the same sex, but like, I don't know. I see, because here's the thing. I guess like if you are friends with the person, then that's one thing. But if you're just going out of your way to like message him and things, it comes off as like if you're trying to like get at something. Like, we're in this day and age where it's all like, if you are messaging a person and you ain't friends with them, like, you trying to get with them, you trying to hook up with them and stuff. So yeah, I personally believe though he was just trying to get like a story out of James Charles. Like, if you guys gonna get like what my final verdict will be at the end of the video, I'm gonna say it now. I personally believe he was just trying to get a story out of him.
For the record, I don't actually think this guy is bi and just insecure about his sexuality. I think he was just trying to shoot his shot for the clout.
And James says, "Have a nice night." And this kid
That's true too. That's like, it could go. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that makes sense too. I honestly, yeah, that's probably the higher, answer more than anything else, is that, yeah, this He's clout chasing.
said something that really like sent up a red flag for me. He said, "Scandal time?" ?
And then the latest evidence against Ethan has come out when a TikToker who's known Ethan for 2 years spoke out against him.
So these two guys, Ethan and Zay, are trying to claim that James Charles baited them. What I think is funny about it is that a month ago, they texted me, since I've known them for 2 or 3 years now. They live a good 20-30 minutes away from me. James commented on one of my videos and they saw it, so they FaceTimed me. Keep in mind, the only time they've ever reached out to me is whenever I've hit a success. But they saw that James commented on one of my
clout chasing
videos. So Ethan and Zay snap call me. I answered the call and they're like, hey, we saw that James commented on your video. Like, that's super cool. And I was just freaking out. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, he did. And then Ethan was like,
well, I actually talked to James.
And Zay was like,
Yeah, he talks to James.
and I was like, oh, like, that's so cool, whatever, whatever. And then he proceeded to tell me that he DM'd him and that James actually responded and he thought that was crazy. He's telling me how it was so cool that James had talked to him and that they Snapchatted each other. He was just basically bragging about how James talks to him and how he flirts with James and all this stuff. He told me, he's like, I'm not gay, but like, it's James Charles, so I'm gonna flirt with him.
This is exactly what I figured he would have thought.
Keep in mind, Ethan has told me
that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why, if you know you're not gay, but you're going to flirt with another man, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm trying to sit down and think about that, and it's just a pressure point in my brain right here that's like, if I think too hard, I am most likely going to go unconscious. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. It doesn't. I personally believe this. The kid might be gay or bisexual, whatever, but at the end of the day, he was doing all of this for clout. You have to understand, you are getting one of the biggest YouTubers in the world caught up into some drama, and you're starring in it. So yeah, you're doing this for clout.
me before that he's 17 about to turn 18.
When he's going
Wow.
around telling other people that he's 17 to 18 years old, what makes people think that he would tell James the truth and say that he's 14, especially when he's trying to, quote, shoot his shot with him? Also, let's not forget that his famous birthdays account used to say that he's 15 years old. It's now since been changed to 14 years.
It's just crazy. It's like to see people born in 2005. Like 2005, I was out here asking for a PSP for Christmas, and there's people out here being born. I guess it makes sense because I'm 2005. Yeah, I remember being off up in grocery stores and just little babies looking at me. But who would have known that these babies would have grown up to be trying to scam James Charles on YouTube?
From what I've been hearing, Famous Birthdays does contact you to confirm your age, so there's just so many sketchy things going on around his age that I just don't know if I trust him anymore.
So when I hear that he told James that he was
trusted him from the
14,
start.
and then I saw that James posted screenshots saying he's 18, I believed it, because he lied to me about his age. And he's saying, well, he could have looked me up. I could have looked him up too, but I didn't, because that's weird. Who just goes and looks people up? I'm sorry, I don't do that.
Now, this is the part where I kind of disagree with the girl. I think that if you're in James Charles's position and you've already had so many false accusations made against you, so you're kind of walking on thin ice with your reputation, you kind of do need to take the extra step and at the very least Google maybe who you're going to be sending nudes to, or even possibly have your team do a background check on the person. Like, it's James Charles. Obviously, he has the means to do stuff like that, and so all of this could have been preventable, right? James had also
That's true. I guess like when you say me, on the other hand, like your average Joe, like just walking up and down the streets and things, like I ain't gonna think too much of it. But yeah, somebody that's like, I guess I can, like, I can relate to James Charles, because there has been times like where people have like tried to set me up for like getting into it with like haters, and then like all this like other drama that I've been involved in, and I'm just like, I do kind of do like a background check on people to see like who they following, who they talking to, like are these tweets going to be similar to other tweets that's been tweeted towards me and stuff. So yeah, it's messed up that it has to be like that, but anyways.
sent this screenshot from his private messages to Ethan, which doesn't actually really show much, but at the very least it does show that Ethan didn't have any of his other socials attached to his Instagram, so James really had no way of knowing that he was a public figure or that he could Google him, so that's that.
Basically, Ethan claims that James baited him, James was sending him booty pics, and that he felt so uncomfortable. He felt like his family's life was in danger because he was being hit on after he DM'd someone, saying that he was trying to shoot his shot, knowing their sexuality, lying about their age. But in his video, he says everything opposite of what actually happened, and I know because he told me. So I saw on Snapchat Drama Alert the video clips from Ethan's video he made telling the story about James Charles and what happened. I'm not even lying when I say I looked at that video like this, because a month ago they had told me exactly what happened and it was nothing that they were saying in the video. They were conscious about the whole situation. So whenever I saw that Snapchat, I sent it to him. I screenshotted it and I sent it to him.
It's like, yeah, then it's like she's saying that they told her about the whole thing a month prior. So yeah, that's what people do. They get all the things that they need to get for their video and stuff, and then they clout chase.
He opened my screenshot that I sent him, left it on red, and I replied again. I was not about to let someone get canceled for something that didn't even happen just because they want a little bit of clout. And I sent him a bunch of question marks, didn't answer. So then the next day I Snapchatted him, this is yesterday, and I said, why are you lying about this to get clout? I'm blocked. Then I go my DMs and I'm like, maybe I can find something about it in Zay's DMs on Instagram because he always DMs me. I'm blocked.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, that's just very self-explanatory. Why would you block someone if they were confronting you about something that you actually didn't do? If you actually had anything to say in your own defense. You know what I mean? Ethan clearly didn't have anything to say back to her, and he knew his ass was lying. So I'm just gonna be honest with you guys here, and I said this in my last video as well. Ethan has not showed sufficient evidence of really anything.
Yeah.
All he did was show one side of a conversation, so I'm not even sure what he wants us to take away from that. Then again, there are a lot of people saying that this does not let James Charles off the hook because at the end of the day, he did still send nudes to a minor. Whether or not he was catfished, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't know shit about the law, so I can't really comment on this, but let me know down below if you know how that could go down in court if Ethan were to take legal action against James. And while it's true that Ethan is somewhat of a public figure and James could have easily Googled him and found his age on famous birthdays, we don't actually know when his famous birthdays account got created. Honestly,
That's the thing,
like,
though. But it's not like I don't know how many followers he got like on other like social. Because that's one thing that I do see with like TikTokers is that they'll have like hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok. But they'll probably have like your average amount of followers on Instagram. Like if you're somebody that's not really like well known on the TikTok platform and stuff, if you ain't like Addison Rae or one of the D'Amelio sisters or anything, yeah, you ain't gonna have 1 million followers on every single social media platform. So I would imagine that him, like, you know, he does the same thing that probably like 100,000 people are doing on TikTok. You most likely ain't gonna, yeah, you're gonna have some followers, but you're going to have like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm saying like that's to me that's like average. That's not like a whole lot and stuff. So it's like when you see somebody like with like that number and things like 2,000 and stuff, you ain't gonna be thinking that they a famous person and things like, you know, you ain't gonna be. But yeah, if it's like you are in James Charles' situation, you should like look up and see like, okay, like what's this person's deal? What's this person like? What they all about and stuff. So yeah, you are gonna have to do some like catfish investigation. You are gonna have to call up that one guy. What is his name? Neve. And yeah, you are gonna be able like take some tips from him and stuff and be like, hey, how do I go about this?
dude is just a kid, right? And I truly don't think he understands just how serious these allegations are.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
I can't even
saying.
say
Like,
he had malicious intent because he's
he needs to
literally
get his
14
parents
years
involved
old
and see
and
how
a
serious
dumbass,
he'll
so
get.
I just hope he can grow up and learn from his mistakes. And as for James, I hope his reputation can recover from this as well. There are rumors of him taking legal action behind the scenes, but I'm honestly not sure if that would have major repercussions for Ethan because he's still a minor. I don't know. This is exactly why parents need to monitor what their kids are
Yup.
doing on the internet.
Facts.
That was it
Facts.
for today's video. I really want to know what your opinion is on all of this, so make sure to comment that down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.
yeah,
I post
dude.
new videos 3 times a week. Alright, you guys, bye.
Yeah, that kid, yeah, he knows what he was doing, so yeah, he was just clout chasing and things. Like, guys gotta be careful of clout chasers. People do that type of stuff to you. Why? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that kid, it's clear as day. Then it's like now that you have like a friend that can like come out and say like, hey, this guy did say like a month prior that he was gonna be clout chasing and things from James Charles. then yeah, that's like, man, it's just messed up. It's really messed up. People gotta carry on like that, and I'm like, bro, like you got a following on TikTok, like stick with that following and just build that up. But the fact that you got a clout chase and try to rob other people out there enjoying stuff for your own benefit and things, like once when I'm telling you right now, he's gonna be in a far more like serious situation. And when he realized like how serious that situation can get, then that's when he's gonna be like, oh, maybe I should have taken it back. I shouldn't have done this. Like, yo, man, I wish I could take it back. They're like, nah, bro, it's too late for all that. Now it ain't no take backs. Like, no, now you gotta sit down, face all these problems, face all these consequences and things. So, and hopefully this, lesson learned that it's like you got caught up, and so you just gonna have to deal with it. And that's what I'm like, even with like in the first video or the first two videos where he was like sitting there with this friend, I'm just like, bro, why is your friend there? How come you ain't got like no parent or no guardian? You ain't going to the police station? Then when he was trying to prove his innocence and he's like screaming in the car and stuff, why is it that that's like everybody's like escape route when they don't want other people to hear their problems? They go into a car and they just start screaming and things. I'm like, bro, like you gotta know, like get your parents involved. Like I would imagine you have your parents, and if like, yeah, you got somebody there watching over you and things, so get them involved and let them know, like, hey, like there's this dude, he was messaging me online and he was being perverted and stuff. If you can't do that, then obviously the situation was fake and you was clout chasing. So anyways, but yeah, he's a clout chaser, period. So, but if you guys haven't, make sure you guys go subscribe to Ray. I was about to say Ray T, but yeah, I don't know. Words just not making sense to me right now. That's what happens when you record videos at 1 a.m. But make sure you guys go subscribe to Hot T and her second channel, Raven Hemi, and her financial channel. And I need to see the name of that channel. I'm just gonna go ahead to the personal. Yeah, so her financial channel, Build Your Pocket. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to her channel, Build Your Pocket. And yeah, I will. What's this? How to get started in the stock market. I might have to check out some of these videos. How to become a millionaire by any age. Yeah, Ray, you're definitely a millionaire out here paying for OnlyFans and getting scammed out of hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars and stuff. Yeah, she's like a million. She's like another John Wick. Like she's rich, but she could definitely like hurt somebody and stuff. But anyways, yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to her channels and stuff. Like, subscribe to me too. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.